Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. So Nio did its earnings, second quarter earnings report, and it was dynamite. This is exactly why I said the Australian Viking, who claimed to be a Viking, the albino, is a dangerous man that's misleading a lot of people. A very sick behavior, and he's doing it on purpose. Because if the average person like you and I can see that this company is getting ready to become profitable, I heard he did another hit piece again this morning, and in the end of it, he said he still don't think Nio will be a profitable company. The sad thing is a lot of people are listening to this man and has listened to him and lost a lot of money because he was saying this even when Nio was in the $3 range. Now it's in the $6 range. But what I find very interesting that prove my theory that the market is heavily manipulated here in America by the upper people, the upper echelon, is pre-market, it went down beneath $5, the stock price, so that the whales can buy in, seeing the kind of revenues and the improvement that the company is making. It is a very sad situation here, but it's also a good sign for us because we know that now that they bought in yet again heavily, that they realize, and it's just a matter of time now for us to fly. So what's happening? Well, and forgive me for this environment. I'm doing this in my car because I'm on the run today. But this is officially from Nio's website. Vehicle deliveries was 72,056 in the second quarter. You heard that right. Of 2025, representing an increase of 25.6% from the second quarter of 2024, and an increase of 71.2% from the first quarter of 2025. Also, the deliveries consisted of 47,132 vehicles from the company's premium smart electric vehicle brand, 17,081 vehicles from the company's family-oriented smart vehicles, from the company's smart high-end electric brand Firefly. High-end. This is the way it's being reported by Nio itself, guys. This is from the Nio website. It says 7,843 vehicles from the company's small, smart, high-end electric car brand Firefly. So this is the way Nio is describing it on their website. I'm on their website right now. 2025 Q2, Q1, Q. So in Q2, our deliveries was 72,000 of 2025. Well, let me start with 2024. 2024 Q3, our deliveries was 61,855 vehicles. Q4, 72,689 vehicles. Q1 of 2025 was only 42,094, but Q2 of 2025 was 72,056 vehicles. So it showed a huge ramp up coming again. Q2 of 2024 deliveries, 57,373 vehicles. This is deliveries, guys. This is in Q2 of 2024. So in Q2 of 2024, we had 57,373 deliveries. But in Q2 of 2025, we had 72,000. So from 57,000 to 72,000 plus in 2025. A drastic increase, a massive increase. Vehicle sales in the second quarter of 2025 is 2,252,000.5 US dollars, representing an increase of 2.9% from the second quarter of 2024 and an increase of 62.3% of the first quarter of 2025. Vehicle margin was 10.3% in the second quarter of 2025, and in the second quarter of 2024 it was only 10.2%. So we went up 2.2% in the first quarter of 2025. Total revenue was 2,653,000. Excuse me, guys. Yes, in the second quarter of 2025, representing an increase of 9% from the second quarter of 2024 and an increase of 57.9% of the first quarter of 2025. Gross profit was 264.9 million in the second quarter of 2025, representing an increase of 12.4% from the second quarter of 2024 and an increase of 106.3% of the first quarter of 2025. You heard that right. We're going to the moon in the fourth quarter, guys. This company is going to be a profitable company. Despite what the Electric Viking is telling you all, that he still don't see it being profitable. I didn't watch it because I don't give him views. Despite what he's telling people in the fourth, or he still don't think there'll be a profitable company. I heard he just did that hit piece again. This man is a sick and poisonous individual. It says gross margin was 10% in the second quarter of 2025 compared to 9.7% in the second quarter of 2024 and 7.6% in the first quarter of 2025. Yes, we keep increasing. Loss from operations was 685.2 million in the second quarter of 2025, representing a decrease of 5.8% from the second quarter of 2024 and a decrease of 23.5% from the first quarter of 2025. Excluding share-based compensation expenses and organizational optimization charges, adjusted loss from operations was 564.1 million in the second quarter of 2025, representing a decrease of 14% from the second quarter of 2024, guys, and a decrease of 32.1% from the first quarter of 2025. Net loss was US dollars 697.2 million in the second quarter, representing a decrease of 1% from the second quarter of 2024 and a decrease of 26% from the first quarter of 2025. Excluding share-based compensation expenses and organizational optimizational charges, adjusted net loss was RMB 576.1 million in the second quarter of 2025, representing a decrease of 9% from the second quarter of 2024, guys. This is amazing. We knew it, and now that the research and development, we've done a lot of that and we've cut cost on that. And now the CEO said we are in the harvesting phase, guys. We are in the harvesting phase. So now we're going to see the result of all that research and development. Third quarter is going to be incredible. Fourth quarter is profitability, guys. So I want to thank Malik for this in Australia. Other revenue from the third quarter of 2024 was 281 million. From the second quarter, well, let me start with the first quarter. Other revenue, which is very important, which comes in from phone sales, accessories, battery swapping, selling intellectual rights, etc., etc. In the first quarter of 2024, it was 211 million in the first quarter of 2024. Not bad. In the second quarter of 2024, it went up to 243 million. In the third quarter, other revenue was 281 million. You see the trend here, guys? And now our other revenue for this quarter of 2025, the second quarter, was 401 million. Other revenue comes in from not selling cars. Does Xpeng does that? Our boy Viking, who's most likely getting paid from Xpeng to spread his propaganda. Does Xpeng have other revenue? No, they don't. They have to depend on selling cars. So this is huge for us, guys. Other revenue came in at 401 million. So Nio entered into agreement to make additional investment in Nio China. In July 2025, Nio entered into a definitive agreement to exercise his right to make an additional investment of RMB 20 billion in Nio China pursuant to the previously announced Nio China Series B investment. Nio will hold a controlling equity interest in Nio China at 91.8 million. The company delivered 72,056 smart electric vehicles, representing, this is in the second quarter, representing a year-on-year increase of 25.6%, said the CEO, William Lee. The strong market reception of Onvo L90 and Nio All ES8 has reinforced our overall sales momentum driven by his strong demand. We anticipate total deliveries in the third quarter to range between 87,000 and 91,000, representing a year-on-year growth of 40 to 47% and setting a new company record, he said. Onvo L90 and Nio All ES8 have received widespread user acclaim for their exceptional product experience, demonstrating our sharp market insight and precise product definition capabilities, supported by our continuous technological innovations. This is what the CEO is saying on the report, on the second quarter report. He says strategic advantage of our battery swapping and charging infrastructure and the multi-brand strategy reaching a broader user base. These models are well positioned to redefine competition in the large three-row SUV segment and accelerate the market transition toward a new era dominated by EVs, BEVs, added William Lee, pure EVs. Starting from the second quarter, our comprehensive cost reduction and efficiency improvement initiatives have started to yield results, he said. Excluding organizational optimization charges, our non-GAAP operation loss improved by over 30% sequentially, added Stanley Q, approaching our structural inflection point. In our financials, with positive momentum building towards a sustainable virtuous cycle and continued performance. Total revenue in the second quarter of 2025 was $2,653,000, representing an increase of 90% from the second quarter of 2024. So, like I said, other sales in the second quarter was $401 million, representing an increase of 62.6% from the second quarter, guys. So I'm not going to go into the whole article, but vehicle margin in the second quarter was 10.3% compared with 12.2% in the second quarter of 2024. Now we're going to see that increasing yet again. So, guys, we all knew that this was coming. We all knew that it was going to be okay, but it actually happened to be better than what I thought. And can you imagine what's happening, what's coming for the third and fourth quarter? It's going to be unbelievable. So now people will be scrambling in to buy shares when we are already sitting pretty. It is still at a buy. Don't get me wrong. This company is still, in my opinion, the share price is still at a reasonable price compared to where this is going to be in the future. People would not be able to afford shares in this company. They will be buying a percentage of a share. So while this disgusting albino, who is most likely being paid by Xpeng, in my opinion, continue to put out hit pieces, his tongue twisted a little bit, but I heard in the end of the video he said, you still don't think it will be a profitable company. I'm going to download that video and keep it so I can show it again by the third and fourth quarter. I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the games are played on Wall Street. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.